Okay, look at this beautiful cow. Now, in India, they believe that the spirit of the dead would go to cows, and they don't agree with people who eat cows. But in the West, this cow is eatable. And so, what happens to this cow? It's butchered, chopped, and served in the kitchen. I have no problem with that. Nobody else have problem with that. After all, this is the culture of the West, superior culture. But then, imagine if this cow is a dog. If this cow is a dog, how many videos on YouTube would come out condemning that dreadful act? The early Europeans and Americans hunt for buffaloes not for the meat, but for their skin or their hide. Now, they don't want to waste their ammunition, so they shoot them with one bullet and skin them while they are still alive. And then, after they take off the skin, some of them are still alive, lift them in the desert to bleed under the sun. Now, I don't have a problem with that. That is an old Western culture. Although the descendants of these very people are now condemning Asians for for killing dogs by strangulation. Now we have to understand that these are different cultures, and we have to respect each other's cultures. Take a good look at this picture. This is a pig, a hog. Take a good look at the feet. Now, present day, hunters and farmers in the US and in Europe still use the traditional way, the old way of butchering a pig. And we have no problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. Now, this is a poultry in America, and same arrangement in Europe. It looks the same way. Now, compare this with a dog and cat cage in Korea, Vietnam, and China, where they are being stored before they are being butchered. Now, these chickens are killed, their feeders are taken off, and they are also deep in boiling water. But then again, this is a culture of the West. Now, imagine if these chicken are dogs. Now, how many videos on YouTube would again come out condemning that dreadful act of dipping them into boiling water and plucking their feeders? This beautiful little girl, sweet little girl, is showing us her skill in butchering chicken and preparing chicken. This is a part of their culture, and I have no problem with it. I don't have the right to condemn her, and personally, I don't have anything against this practice. My point is that we have different cultures. We have to respect each other. We cannot gauge the morality or immorality of a culture on the basis of our own culture. So that we cannot say that because here in Europe, eating dog is disgusting, that killing dog by strangulation is disgusting, that we can also impose that to the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Filipinos, and the Chinese. They learned their method of killing and preparing their hogs and their dogs or cats through the ancient way. These animals would bite back, and so they are employing means that will ensure the safety of the person or the human who is killing the animal. It's just a survival thing. They wanted to be safe, and that's why they use methods that may appear cruel. Ironically, most or many of the people who come out here in YouTube and condemn the practice of eating dogs are actually people who come from Asia, Asian Europeans or Asian Americans. And they have so embraced the Western and American culture. Dogs being glamorized in American television, American movies, and American songs, or European songs and movies. And now they think that it's a disgusting practice. The Chinese civilization and the ancient kingdoms in Vietnam and Korea, and the Majapahit Empire that has existed, comprising the areas including the Philippines, are actually a culture that predated the culture of the Europe and the United States. These are old civilizations. And in these old civilizations, there were practices and customs and traditions that has been passed on from generations to generations. Presently, some of these practices are used today. The Christian Bible said that all wild beasts, flying creatures you may eat. Now, the Quran prohibits the eating of pork. Some religious sect or ancient religion believe that some bad spirits went into the pigs, and so that's why the pigs are not eatable. Now, everyone has its own standard, everyone has its own measurements. And I would say that don't let anyone, not the whites, the blacks, the Asians, or any other culture tell you what you can eat and what you cannot eat. You have your own. And to those who are trying to impose on others, let us learn the word respect. That's what made America great, because they existed in the spirit of tolerance. For as long as you do not injure the rights of others, then you may continue what you are doing. For as long as these Koreans and Vietnamese and Filipinos are not coming to America and start butchering your dogs here for food, then you have no business going into China and shooting pictures and condemning their practice. You have to learn to respect them. You have to cut off that horn and tail of arrogance in you